welcome to Street Check, the weekly podcast from Cabot Wealth Network. Frankly, the best podcast in the history of Cabot Wealth Network, which has been around since 1970, delivering investment research, insights, and ideas for more than half a century. We haven't ever delivered anything quite like we're going to today. I'm Chris Preston, Chief Analyst, Cabot Stock of the Week, Vice President of Content.
And I'm Brad Simmerman, Web Editor and Chief Analyst of the Cabot Wealth Daily. This week, we're going to jettison our normal format, and we're going to bring the hot takes from this year so far back into play. We will pay the price for our terrible takes. The
hot takes to hot sauce.
Hot takes to hot sauce. The justification for the hot takes was always they're going to be bold takes, and we'll bandy them about and we'll make bold claims, and now we will pay the price for it. So this week, Chris and I will be going through 10 takes, half a dozen or a dozen takes, something right in that
10 takes, not all of them wrong, but
most of them
are. Yes, and to help us do that, our producer Madison Robertson is joining us. Welcome, Madison.
Thank you for having me.
So yeah, we've had quite a few takes, as Brad was explaining. You know, some of them were not provable. Like, you know, Brad, I think you said at one point, ESG investing is
meaningless.
Yeah. So that's not provable one way or another. But a lot of ours have been. So our punishment for all of our wrong takes is sampling a few very hot sauces. That Brad, you're the hot sauce expert. You want to explain what we have? I'll show what I have too.
So this is loosely based on, you know, some other stuff you may have seen on the internet. You've got your hot ones and the hot challenges and stuff. I am going with 3 different hot sauces. My mild sauce is just your traditional red jalapeno hot sauce. It's Arizona Gunslinger.
I've got a chili maple. It's a 2 out of 10 hot. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's equivalent to yours, but that's the mild.
My medium mule sauce. It is a habanero based hot sauce. It's probably in the 50,000 Scoville range, so somewhere at a 5 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have to explain Scoville. I'm Los Calientes Barbacoa hot sauce, 4 out of 10. So maybe it's slightly more mild than yours. I don't know, but medium.
Pretty comparable, I think, for both of us. And then for the last one, Apollo hot sauce, Last Dab. The hottest one that they use, ostensibly somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 million Scoville, could be closer to 600,000. I don't know that it's been formally tested, but it's the hottest sauce I could, in good conscience, make Chris eat.
So, yeah, and I have the same one. We have the same exact one for that one. So, explain how the process will work.
So Madison is going to read our hot takes sequentially from the beginning of the podcast to now, and then we're randomly going to get assigned a hot sauce to eat for each wrong take. I have a feeling I'm going to feel the brunt of this, but let's go through and see how we did. Chris, did you want to hit any points before we get started?
Just one thing to say. I know about maybe 20% of our audience listens. I know a lot of our audience is on YouTube. So for this one, you probably want YouTube. Maybe listening will be entertaining. But if you're listening to this, you go to the Cabot Wealth Network videos site on YouTube, and that's where you will find this episode.
Just little misophonia warning: if you hate chewing on mic, you might get a little bit of that this episode, but we'll try and minimize it.
Okay, I don't understand any of what you just said, but let's go ahead.
That's where people have a problem with hearing food being consumed, where it's like a visceral
chewing on mic. I thought you were talking about Mike Santola. Okay.
Me. I forgot that was going to be part of this. That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Oh gosh.
I'm giving you guys all the hot ones. I'm only pulling hot ones.
Good. We're not the only two being punished on this one then.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll pull my seat away from the computer a little bit while I chew, just so it's not as. I agree. That's a pet peeve of mine as well. So.
And maybe I'll mute when I'm chewing since I got the headset. But I've delayed us enough with my technical difficulties. You guys ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. First one was Chris, buy in May, don't sell.
I mean,
this one was right. This was right. This was back from this is one of our earliest takes, maybe the first one from April. I said so usually the adage is sell in May, go away. It's supposed to, the market's weakest 6 months usually May through October. That hasn't really been the case as much lately, and I had a feeling with the way things were going with the market, we hadn't flipped to a bull market at that point technically, and come out of a bear market. I had a feeling, we were getting there, and sure enough, we did in May, or maybe I guess it was June, either May or June, flip. But bottom line is the S&P is up 7% since the start of May. So that take was right.
Banger. It was a banger take. That's a perfect take.
Yeah.
So take a bow.
Yeah, thank you. This might be my only one. Okay, so that's the first one. So far, we're unscathed. Madison, what's next?
All right, this is Brad. The VIX is at a 10-month lows. Is actually bad news. Said that on April 21st.
April 21st.
This was just before the face melting rally of June and July. That was wrong. That was a bad take.
Yeah.
As Chris said, S&P up 7% since then. I will say, in my defense, we are still seeing low levels of institutional participation and record cash on the sidelines. So there's still a lot of dry powder out there, but it hasn't stopped the market from rallying. So Madison, go ahead and draw.
All I hear is that I get to pull something out of here.
Yep. Intentionally pulling the hot one, I can tell you.
I saw it on the back end and I smiled.
Oh, you were lucky. I guess that's the fitting way to start this. So what's the name of your sauce again, Brad?
So mine is the Arizona Gunslinger. I've got some fresh white cauliflower, which will be the worst part of this mild sauce. Let's get a big,
it's
healthy...
10:45 a.m. your time, so that makes it a little better. Perfect.
Our kind thanks you.
Yeah. I don't see any tears coming out yet, so this is nothing. We should say that Brad has a cabinet full of or cupboard full of 100 hot sauces. You're sort of a hot sauce connoisseur.
I've got like 20 to 50.
20 to 50.
So I was telling you this in private, but the issue is that I'm able to eat like novelty spice level foods, which my in-laws misperceive as a character trait. So anytime they go anywhere, they come home with whatever the hottest thing they found was. So I've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 50 hot sauces in my cabinet.
How's this one?
Oh, this is easy. I drink this stuff.
Okay. Well, you might need to do that before the end of this. Okay. So that's 2 down. What's next?
Next. Chris, you said the interest rates will not change for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I did say that. And you know what? They have. The Fed has raised interest rates another 25 basis points since then. Just the once, but that's enough. So I was wrong. So I will accept
bad punishment. Bad for you.
Yeah.
Darn it. Mild.
Mild. You know what?
I'm not good at this.
I think we might need to throw that mild one out.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's give it a little time. Let's not go crazy just yet.
All right.
I have traditional, these go so well with hot sauce pretzel. What are these called? Like the butter, whatever pretzels.
Yeah, those are great pretzels.
A, I forgot to buy Tostitos, and B, so full disclosure, we were ready to go on this about an hour and a half ago. Brad was having technical difficulties. I had some chips ready to go. My kids have since eaten the chips. Actually, I had a few. So I'll go ahead. Dip this.
Those pretzels are ideal for chocolate fountains. We bust one out every Valentine's Day. But the lattice shape on it just traps the chocolate. So
that's good. Certainly better than hot sauce
on a pretzel, but
yeah. Hence the cauliflower. Tastes like garbage. It's a trash vegetable, but it works really well on camera.
All right. I muted myself while I chewed or part of the time. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. Maybe we should have started with a more mild, less mild, but not so bad. I see what you mean, Brad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next one. So far, so good.
All right, Brad. The S&P will dip below 4,000 before rising above 4,200. We said that on May 12th.
Okay, Let me pull up the chart. Hang on. May 12th. when you said this, I didn't think this was that bad a take, actually.
We got close.
41.24, and I think it was really threatening to fall. Oh, it did fall. It was 41.24, fell to 41.09 a couple days later, and this was around the time. This was when we were still dealing with the
Banks.
No, not the banks. It was the debt ceiling.
Yeah,
We're worried about that because I think what was it June 1st or was it third week of May or something like that? I can't remember
I think
exactly.
the deadline ended up being like June 8th or June 11th,
Okay.
somewhere right around there.
Okay, so it did fall, but not to 40, not below 4,000, and has since gone well above 4,200. It never dipped below 4,000, so this is definitively wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Madison.
I
So
need to get
hopefully it's
better
not
at
another
the-
mild. Yeah, really shake that hat around, see what we can get here.
I feel like
If it's a mild, I'll do a redraw.
hot.
All right.
All right. Now let's
All
get
right.
nuts.
Let's get this and make this a little bit more interesting.
Okay. It's a good amount.
It looks fine. You look fine.
Might be too much of a veteran with this.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll start sweating and I'll talk weird, but
Okay. Well, that's something to look forward to at least.
That's something for your
You
Friday.
gotta give the viewers something. Yeah. I feel like we should have gone something for you, Brad. Should have gone something higher than you've ever tasted, just to, put you in at least a little bit of a danger zone.
I don't really seem to have an upper limit.
Okay.
I don't know, like there's stuff that's hotter than this, but once you hit like 100,000 Scoville, it all feels the same to me.
How's it feel?
I can feel the warmth sort of circulating when it's sort of spreading up into my sinuses. So
Okay. All right. Well, that's something at least. Okay. I'll let Madison read the next one while you're dealing with that.
All right. Chris, Bitcoin will break above 40,000 before crude oil tops $100 a barrel.
Okay, so this one is an unresolved one. It is provable, but unresolved. It's probably going to be a photo finish here. Bitcoin was pretty hot then, but it's since cooled off. It's at 29,000, so still well below 40,000. Crude oil has come up recently, but it is still only at $83 a barrel. So both are pretty far from reaching that level. So no blood on this one. Brad, any comments, or are you unable to speak?
No, I did see an interesting recent take where somebody had written an article that was basically saying, Bitcoin, all the Bitcoiners have been saying it's the digital gold. Well, now they're right, because like gold, it's just sort of pegged at 30,000, whereas gold is pegged at like 2,000, and it can just sit there for years.
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
It's a little redder, and I can tell your voice is changing. So yeah, actually delivered. Okay. So far, not so bad for me. Next one. Yeah.
All right, Brad. Early year outperformance in big tech is now over. So that May 26th.
Brad, I pulled some stats on this.
Okay, good.
May 26. So since May 26, since you said this, big tech. I tallied up the average gain on the eight stocks that carried the market. 8 stocks we're kind of talking about here: Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Facebook, Tesla, Apple, Netflix, Google. Since May 26, average gain 9%. Average gain in the S&P since then 6%. So that's a wrong take, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna pick nits on this one because I'm like, they've underperformed of late a little bit, but
I know I wasn't sure. When we first said this, I immediately just dismissed it as a wrong take. But then I was like, well, let's see. And actually, Microsoft is down 3% since then. Apple's only up 1%. Google 3%. But
was it Meta killing me?
Netflix, Meta, and especially Tesla are really bailing you out, bailing out the viewers here.
Yeah. Okay. All right, yeah. Madison.
All right, let's see your punishment.
Ready? Hot again.
All right.
Oh boy, it doesn't look like you fully recovered from the previous one, so this could be good.
No, it'll take a few minutes.
Yep.
But let's
Got
go.
some water just watching you. Oh, that's a lot on there. Nice.
Go
He's
big or go home, right?
dedicated to the cause.
Yeah, I guess I gotta dip my whole pretzel in there when I do this. If I ever have it, I may not have any more wrong takes. We'll
You
see.
may just always be right.
Yeah, I may just always be right. I had one mild wrong take so far. How's that, Brad?
About the same. It's not making it worse. It's just making it last longer.
Okay.
Are you even tearing up a little bit?
That V8 juice
I
you're
think so.
having with it?
No, it's a grapefruit sparkling water,
okay.
Kroger branded.
I was gonna say that might only add to that acidity.
No, I'm not tearing up. Maybe a little bit sweat on the forehead.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I recommend watching this on YouTube if you're listening to the audio version of this right now. Okay, Madison,
All right.
what's next?
Chris, no more rate hikes this year, volume 2.
Yep, I knew this was coming. So yeah, I doubled down. I don't know why. I think it was because everyone was sure that they were going to raise again, and I guess there's a reason for that. They were right. And I'll accept my punishment. Two punishments for the same wrong take.
That's probably better than having more wrong takes.
It is.
Hot. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted it. Let's dive right in here.
Yeah, let's see how this affects Chris.
This could be good. Yeah. All right. This is an acceptable amount. That looks like a lot of. Real Marco.
This I just want, like, I know it's an audio medium. I just want to sit here and watch this though, so I'll provide some color commentary. He's ruminating on it right now, considering. Oh, it hit him.
Oh yeah, it's a delay there. It's hot. It's hot.
I think it's starting to. My eyes are starting to water a little bit.
Yep, mine are getting there. I'm gonna try to hold off on water as long as I can, but might not be too long. That's a good one.
All right.
All right, let's keep going.
Ready? All
What's
right.
up next, Madison?
Brad, the number of AI mentions in Q2 earning call will be less than 10%.
You have the data on this, Brad. I don't know.
That was wrong. I don't recall specifically saying less than 10%. I think we might have just settled on a number. AI mentions were up significantly, predominantly owing to the tech companies coming out to reiterate how much they're working with AI. This is a definitive wrong take. More mentions, still more than a third of the companies reporting mentioned it. So it's more than 30%. So,
all right, let's see if you go 3 in a row hot.
I would probably prefer not, but I don't know if it's going to make a material difference. It's just going to be not getting hotter.
Gosh. Hot again for those listening.
All right.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm running out of good sizes.
Chris, I think you need some milk.
I know. I should have done milk. I think I can even see some red under your beard, Brad. Yeah. I'm feeling it.
Looks okay.
Yeah. 3 in a row. Is that no change? Just extending.
The worst part is now
I
the
won't make
cauliflower.
it the cauliflower. Yeah. Okay, Brad's struggling. So finally we got him. All right, let's move on.
Was that the goal? That was the goal.
That was the goal.
Brad struggle. Okay, good. All right, Chris, there will be no 5% pullbacks in the S&P 500 for the rest of the year.
So far this is right. You know, if we recorded this in a week or two, possible this would be wrong. Stocks have pulled back recently. They were down. So the S&P was down 2.75% from its high since I last looked. I'm struggling. And NASDAQ, it's like 4.8%. So both shy of that. But again, who knows? This may have been a wrong take. Maybe a wrong take in a few weeks. But thankfully, we're
not today.
Recording today. And I think there's one more, Madison, that you
There's one more.
Okay.
You had it a little too easy, I think. Chris, yeah, you said that Barbie will make less than 500 million at the box office, which
Okay. Yes,
we're
that's
past
fine.
that.
Yeah. So this was not one of our defended takes. We're usually not in the business of talking about Barbie or movies in general at the top of our episodes, but we have a segment called Jump Ball where we compare.
We were just picking a bunch of head-to-head matchups.
Yes.
We also had Indiana Jones versus Mission Impossible, but like that's kind of meaningless. The reason that Barbie's included is because Chris was so drastically wrong on it. The movie's past $1 billion worldwide.
Yes.
It's like a
less than
theater
500
saving.
less than 500 million domestically, but that's it'll surpass that by the time I say this, and B, over $1 billion worldwide. I'm definitively wrong.
Yeah. So I think only fitting that you pay the price for that one.
Okay, let's see what we got.
Okay.
I believe this is the last one.
Hope
Brad's
it's hot.
cheering. Brad has a
And it is.
All right.
All right. Wow, the medium barbacoa, my barbacoa was never even used.
Yeah, mine either.
Okay. We'll load it up. I'll load it up. This give people their money's worth for this last one here.
I was
It's
gonna
a free podcast, Chris.
Yeah, I was gonna pitch that we both sign off and we sort of toast one last final hot one.
Oh, I was saying medium, just to let it go. But we could do one last hot one if you want.
Well, I was going to say me getting 3 hots in a row is making me second guess that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, here's my second. Somehow this one is. I shouldn't say anything. I'm just going to jinx it. It's not hitting me
better. You're getting used to it already.
Rose my Vermont tolerance. I guess I rose it already. Maybe I'm more, Brad's levels.
Yeah, when we were talking about this, I was hoping that Chris was going to tell me that like the spiciest thing he'd eaten is like a jalapeno cheeseburger because he's up there in Vermont. But a little disappointed to hear that he's a old hand with the spicy foods.
This sauce, the hot sauce, the Apollo, is probably it's up there with the hottest I've ever had. So it's not nothing, and I see looks like 3 really isn't nothing.
All right.
But
that's about surviving.
Brad, if you want to toast, are we toasting one last? Are we hot or medium?
My bad.
One last Apollo.
I accidentally had an extra hot in there. My bad.
Accidentally. Okay, great.
I knew she was going to sabotage us. I just didn't know how.
Yeah.
I almost made them all.
Still somehow
I actually had it.
Yeah. Still
I had a third hot one in there. You had to trick you.
Brad, are you doing one last hot? So
one last hot. I'm going a little bit smaller, but
all right, I'll do the same. Just wipe my nose.
Glad I'm too pregnant for this.
Yeah. So Madison is for viewers is 37 weeks.
37 pregnant today. Yeah, that's why I'm not.
How are you feeling about like you just had? You feeling about like you just had 4 doses of really hot sauce all the time though?
All the time. All the time.
All right. So I say we sign off on this.
I just did it. I just had it. Yeah.
Chris is too excited about it now. He's
Oh yeah, 3 is a difference. 3 makes a difference. Yep, I see it now.
Let's see what 4 does.
Yeah. Okay, so that's thankfully all of our wrong takes. We'll try and do this maybe once a year. Part of the reason we usually would originally thought about doing this at the end of the year because there would have been obviously way more wrong takes by then, but because Madison's about to go on maternity leave, we didn't want her to miss out on this.
We punished her by making her listen to an episode of Street Check every week. Now she's punishing us.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Wow. I knew you were going to throw in an, I didn't even think about that. Hot there. I knew you were going to do something.
I got to do what I got to do,
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So while I'm still able to actually speak, a couple things I want to mention. I have a webinar next week that is called the 2 Cabot stocks that are most likely to become the next Tesla. That's Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, free, like the podcast. I will not be consuming hot sauce any at all on that webinar, or maybe ever any again. That is so join for that. I would be talking about some stocks in the Cabot portfolios that we think has a chance to be the next Tesla. We famously, my predecessor at Stock of the Week, Tim Lutz, recommended Tesla in December 2011, and it's still in the portfolio with a 13,000
Unreal.
plus percent gain.
Absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
So definitely take the time to attend. Even if you're not able to make it live, you'll get the recording. You can revisit it after the fact. You can go back and look at some of the data points, stuff like that, if you wanted to.
Yeah. Or you can even just subscribe to Stock of the Week, even if you can't make it to the webinar. That's where all these stocks reside. All Cabot's best stocks reside. And
Stock
that I think have a chance.
Stock of the Week is it's a curation. It's sort of a curated portfolio of the best picks from the other Cabot analysts. So you'll be getting the best of the best, the cream of the crop. If you have questions, feedback, comments, want to ask us about hot sauce, email streetcheck@cabotwealth.com.
Yeah,
like us, 5-star reviews wherever you get podcasts, comments, etc. And smash
hot sauce recommendations to the email. You could send if you have any that you think are hotter than the Apollo. I'm all ears. It's all ears.
Yeah, I'll try something hotter. Maybe on the next one we use Apollo as our medium.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, Brad, I'll let you do the sign off.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next week.
See you next week.